Hi, welcome to Tints and Tones. Today we are going to draw this watermelon juice. So for the drawing this watermelon juice, I'll be using only the existing brushes, inking brushes and some other brushes which is already available free. Also this swatch I'll provide you, this color swatch, we'll only use these colors. And also I'll provide you this outline where you can use this outline to color. If not, I'll also be teaching how to draw this outline as well. If you don't want to draw this outline and you want to directly skip to the painting portion, you can use the timestamp and skip to that portion to just paint along with me. Let's get started. Let's get started. Go to the inking brush. In inking section, there is a brush called dry ink. I'm going to use this brush for initial sketch. I have a palette as well, which you can find it in the description downloads. And let's start drawing. To start with, draw a slanting line. Press and hold to make a perfect line. And then again draw another slanting line. Without lifting the pen, just press and hold to make it straight, and draw one U curve, and again press and hold to make a U curve, perfect line. And now again draw a oval. Again you can just press and hold to make it a perfect oval, and redrawing this line so that it connects to this corner. And I'm just erasing the other line. Now this is the tumbler where we are going to draw the watermelon juice. Let me draw a straw and a small oval semicircle kind of line, and then draw some U curves, 1, 2, 3, and just end it, and just erase the intersecting lines. And then do not connect these lines, just in the same angle, just draw another line here and one more line, just the second half, and then just end it over here. Now let me erasing. You can just use the airbrushing soft brush tool and erase it. Go back to the dry ink brush. So the size which I'm using is 11%. Whichever is comfortable to you, you can use it. Now let me draw the watermelon. So to draw the watermelon, first draw a curved line and draw one more line here. Just this point and this point should intersect, and then draw a U curve outside this line, and then just connect it over here. Later we'll correct it. And then just draw the outer portion. So what I did is just draw one line, draw another line, and make a U curve here, and join these two lines, and then join the line. This is what I've drawn here. Hope you get it. And then what you can do is use the same soft brush and erase a portion of the glass which will not be visible due to the watermelon stuck. Now let me just draw some juice lines here, just the inner portion of the glass, and then draw one more line here. It shows that the glass is slightly thicker. Bottom portion can be more thicker, and that's it. Now just drawing some curvy lines here to show the edges of the juice. It's almost full. Now you don't use much pressure, just draw random squares to show the ice cubes. Use very less pressure. We'll later make it into a cube like structure when we paint. Just very few ice cubes. First thing is lock the layer so you don't accidentally paint on this layer. Create one new layer. Now go to the brush, select the airbrushing, select the soft brush. Let's start with the lightest color. So select the first color in the second row. Later we will make it dark, but always I prefer to start with the lighter color. So what I'm going to do is, and increase the opacity to 100%, reduce the brush size to around 2%. Now let me go back to 3%, it's very small, and color the small, let me increase to 5%. Now it's perfect. When you're coloring, if you're having it very small, then you will have hard edges. So try to have the brush size as big as possible. I'm not coloring the corners, we'll do that later. After reducing the size, I'm just coloring the center portion. Before moving on to coloring the corner portion, create one layer. Move this layer underneath the painting layer. Now, what you can do is just select the entire drawing. Use this lasso tool, select once and just draw a outline. I'm just selecting the picture. Entire diagram, the outer line alone, I'm just selecting. This I'm doing to create a clipping mask so that it will be easy for you to paint. Go back to the save and load if in case you needed it later. I'm just saving this selection by pressing this icon. And go back to the color and select a white color, fifth color in the second row, and long press this lasso tool. When you long press, you will find a color fill option. Press the color fill. Now the entire shape which you have selected got filled with white color. Now let me move this to the underneath layer. Move the sketch layer to the top and go to the paint layer and put a clipping mask. Select a clipping mask so that your paint doesn't go outside of this selection. And then unlock the sketch layer and reduce the opacity of the sketch layer to around 15%, just to have an idea of the sketch where we have to paint and what object is there. Just keep the opacity in the very lightest color and place it on the top layer. And moving on to the paint layer, why I have put it in the clipping mask. For example, if I'm choosing the first color as usual and using a soft brush, Now if I start painting, it doesn't spread outside, it will just paint inside the object, it doesn't go out. So that's why we have the clipping mask. Now let me just paint, reduce the opacity to 60% and I'm just coloring the corner as well. You can do this in the beginning before even starting to color, you can do this. Now let me color the entire glass, entire watermelon center place as well. Now this looks fine. Now using the same brush, select the fourth color from the right in the second row, increase the opacity, reduce the brush size to 4% and reduce the brush size to around 3% and color the skin of the watermelon. Again I'm reducing to 1% to color this corner because it's very thin. And go back to the brush, select the medium hard brush. Before painting, let me erase a portion of this. I'm again using the soft brush, just increasing the brush size to 3% and erasing some portion to draw some mint leaves. Just erasing some portion, you can later on correct it. Moving back to the soft brush, just color the leaves entirely. So I'm just color blocking it for now. It's just like a V structure. Later on we'll add some structure to it. Now let me go back to the soft brush, give some color to the umbrella as well. Let me select a different green, the second color from the right in the second row, and select the medium brush. Increase the brush size to 5% and just color the umbrella. I'm just erasing a bit. Now go back to the first color in the second row. Let me give some designs to the straw. That's all. Let me select the eraser, soft brush eraser, and reduce the size to 1% and give some shape to the umbrella. Similarly, let's give some structure to the glass portion as well. Since this is a glass, there will be a lot of reflecting portions. Let me reduce opacity to 70% and increase the size to 2%. After that, just erase a portion of this corner. By reducing the opacity, you will not entirely erase it, just a translucent color you will get. Also here, just erase this portion. And now it's given some structure. Let me select a gray, this sixth color. Go back to the brush, soft brush, and give some, increase the brush size to 2% and color the bottom of the glass. Just use light pressure, do not brush hard. If you use light pressure, it will not create hard edges. Now we have color blocked it. Now again go back to the eraser brush, soft brush, reduce opacity further to 50% and erase the ice cube portion, increasing the brush size to 4% and slightly using very less pressure, just bring some ice cubes too. Sorry, by mistake I pressed the undo button. So when you do this two finger tap, it will undo, and if you do this 3 finger tap, it will redo. Now let me go back to the brush. Let me select the medium brush, go back to the color, select the darkest red and reduce the opacity to around 80%. Let me check the opacity. Yes, this looks fine. Just color the side. Now increase the brush size to 4% and just randomly color. Give some variations to the color, not entirely. Leave some spaces here and there, not entirely. I'm not coloring the entire watermelon, just to give some color variation and just coloring random shapes inside the watermelon. Now going back to the inking section. Where is it? Inking. Select the technical pen and select the 5th color in the 3rd row and give some outline to the glass. Not complete outline, it's just a light outline. So even when I'm giving outlines, I'm just varying the pressure. Now go back to the eraser brush, select the soft blend, reduce the opacity to 70% and just erase. It's very dark, just erasing the umbrella, just erasing few places, like most of the places, just keeping this side very dark. That's okay, just create some effect here. Now let me go back to the technical pen, select the 5th color. Let's give some shapes to the cube. So just again let's reduce the opacity to 50% and just give some shapes to the cube. So when you are drawing a cube, first draw a square inside the white space, just random square, and then draw 2 lines cross here, and then again connect those 2 lines, and one more line here and connect here. So it gives some cubical structure to the ice cubes. I'm not entirely drawing, just very random lines I'm giving, because the cubes will not be very evenly shaped. Now let me draw some seeds, like only 2 seeds I'm drawing, so that I can just make it into a character. I'll draw some seeds later on. Just having a smiley face, bringing some characters into the illustration is what I like doing. Moving on to the darkest green, going to bring some structures to the leaf. Again having a character so that it looks like the watermelon is not alone. Just a very simple character, not very much complicated. I'll just draw this into a normal leaf. Before moving on to the next portion, there is a way, let me darken it up. So go to the paint layer, duplicate it, and in one of the layers change the normal mode to color burn and reduce the opacity to around 40% or more lighter, 35%, and merge it. After merging it, now you can add more details to it. Now go back to the eraser brush, select the soft blend and increase the opacity to 80% and decrease the size to around 2%, and let me erase this top portion of the top portion. So while erasing it, you can do it with some shapes. And just erasing the center portions as well with a very minimal pressure. And also let me create some more highlights to the cubes. By using more pressure, I'm just erasing a bit more, creating some shapes, outlines, and also let me erase some portion of the juice as well to create some bubbles. Create some reflections as well. I'm just erasing one corner of the straw to bring some variation. Also, let me erase the top portion of the glass and create some bubbles in the juice here as well, and also erase this gray as well a bit, because there will be a lot of reflection since it's a glass. So don't overdo it as well, or else it will look too white color, too much of white color. Just erase a portion of the leaf as well. Now go back to the brush, go back to the airbrushing and select a medium brush and select the dark red color, second color from the first row from the right, and reduce the size to 2%, increase the opacity to 100%. Now let's create some depth. Ignore wherever it is white, other than the white portion, just start coloring. Except for the cube, just coloring the right side portion, not going to the left of the glass, just some portion of the right. Also in the watermelon, just make these borders dark. Also go back to the color, select the fourth color. Let me give some more skin here. You can have some more skin, a thicker skin here, and let me select a darker second color from the right and make the skin little bit darker in the corners, because even the skin has some variations to it. And moving on to the red color, second color, just make it little bit more darker. And go back to the eraser brush once and go back to the soft brush. Reduce the size to around 1%, increase opacity, and create some bubbles, like a round shaped bubbles even in the darker portion, and some lines as well. It just creates more layering. Go back to the brush, go back to the same medium brush, select the sixth color. It's more dark, it's more of a maroon, so I'm just reducing the opacity to 70% and again making the corners a bit dark, only a very small portion, not entirely, and a small very thin line to the left. This is more of a very dark color, so don't use much. I'm just coloring the corners So we have colored this with just one layer. So knowing your values will help you. This is the very light portion, and cubes are more lighter. In the center it's very pulpy red color, in the corner it's nice and dark. It doesn't matter which brush you're using, so that's why I've just used one set of brush, which is under airbrushing for painting, and for sketching I've just used some of the inking brushes. Go back to the green color, the third color in the last row. Go back to the inking brush and use the same technical pen. Select one more layer, put the same layer in clipping mask. Let me make the glass a little bit more darker. Give some more structure. Just making it darker outside the white line. So let me color this a little bit darker. The same color, just giving some eyebrows. Some outer line to the eye, and some more. Let me choose a different red color, fifth color in the first row, and give some seeds. Use the same color to give some different textures inside the juice. Going back to the second color, just giving a final outline. Let me slightly reshape the white layer below. Go back to the airbrushing. Select the soft brush. Just giving a small hook here. So I just adjusted this white layer so that it is visible. Now that's it. Let me sign it with my brush. And okay, I have to create a new layer. And let me add some text. Also check out my bookmarks. These are the designs which I have designed and launched on my website. Check out my website www.tinsandots.com. If you like and if you have watched this video until here, please leave a comment so that I will know if you are liking my videos. It will be a big motivation for me to create more such videos. And if you are able to follow, or if there is anything to improve, please let me know. It will be very useful. Please subscribe, click that bell icon to get notification of more such videos. Thank you for following until here. Have a good day.